Hi, it's Ian here. Welcome to another 5-minute marketing tip. Last week I was on the phone to one of my Momentum Club members, and amongst other things we discussed how to use marketing, and in particular content marketing, to take your potential clients from where they usually start off, not knowing much about you, to where they're going to be ready to buy from you. Now, great content is a part of that. It's an important component, but it's not enough. What you need is breadcrumb content that leads your potential clients step by step from where they are to where you need them to be. I'll show you how to create breadcrumb content even, after this break. Hi, welcome back. So imagine you've got a beautiful garden and you love nothing more than to watch the birds fly and land and eat birdseed and tweet and do whatever birds do. But your problem is that the birds tend to congregate at the bottom of your garden rather than near your window where you can see them. So what do? Well, you could try just throwing out birdseed randomly and the birds will fly about and grab all that birdseed, but they're going to go wherever the birdseed lands rather than by your window. What you need to do instead is to lay out a trail of birdseed, a breadcrumb trail from where they start out at the bottom of the garden up to your window so that they congregate there, and that's where you can see them. And it's exactly the same thing with potential clients. You need your content to be great, but you also need it to be breadcrumb content that leads them from where they are now to where you need them to be. How do you do that? Well, you need to know a couple of things first. Firstly, you need to know where you want them, where your window is. Now, in the case of potential clients, where you want them to be is being ready to buy from you, or maybe being ready to have a call with you, or being ready to come on a webinar. What does that mean in detail and specifically? Well, think through what the know and feel factors are. What does that potential client need to know and feel to be ready to hire you? So if you're a leadership coach, for example, maybe that potential client needs to know that you'll be able to get real bottom line results for their business because you've done it before when you've coached other people. Maybe they need to know or feel that they'll be capable of making the changes. So that might mean that they need to know that you've worked with people just like them. Maybe they need to know that you understand their industry or their sector or their type of business. Maybe they need to feel that there'll be good chemistry, a good connection between the two of you, etc., etc. So make sure you've brainstormed, thought through, and written down what those know and feel factors are for your ideal clients, because those are the things you've got to show. Those are the breadcrumbs you've got to lay to get people to where you want them. Secondly, you need to know where they are, where you need to throw out the breadcrumbs initially. Now, what that means for potential clients is you need to know what their big goals and aspirations, their problems, their challenges, what they're interested in, what they care about, because that's the type of content you've got to produce for them to pay attention to. So you can produce all the content that you want in the world about how great you are or the great results you've got, but nobody really cares. What they care about is their own problems, their own challenges, their own aspirations, the things they're interested in. So you need to know what those are, because those become the topics that you create your content about. So here's how you combine the two. What you do is you write about, or you make videos about, or podcasts about, or blogs about, or emails about the topics that your potential clients are interested in, but you illustrate them using the know and feel factors that will take them closer to where you want them to be. So what does that look like in practice? Well, let's say you were a LinkedIn trainer and you'd worked out your know and feel factors were that people needed to know that your LinkedIn training led to real business results rather than just a pretty profile, and a whole bunch of other factors. Let's focus on that one about getting business results first. Now, in order to get the attention of someone who might be a good client for you, you might write a good content article or do a video on 7 tips for improving your LinkedIn profile. That would be interesting to your potential clients. They get value from that. It would increase their perception of you as an expert in the field. But it's a bit like throwing the birdseed out randomly. It doesn't necessarily take them nearer to knowing that you'd be the right person to work with. So instead of just writing a 7 tips for improving your LinkedIn profile article, what you might do instead is write a case study or tell a story of how one of your clients used those 7 tips, or still say what the 7 tips are, but illustrate them in a story of how your client used them to get the business results they were looking for, maybe a new job or maybe a new client or something like that. So by doing that, you're still getting across the great content. It's still highly valuable to potential clients, but it's also illustrating one of the know and feel factors, one of the breadcrumbs that's going to take them just that one step closer to being where you want them to be, knowing all the know and feel factors and them being ready to hire you. Now, The key is that to do this systematically. So every time you produce a new piece of content, think through, firstly, what are the topics that my potential clients are going to be interested in and they're going to add value to? But secondly, how can I illustrate that with one of the known feel factors? Now, you won't necessarily be able to illustrate with a known feel factor every time. The first step is to get that valuable content. But the more often you can use a known feel factor in the way you illustrate your valuable content, the closer people are going to get to you and the quicker they're going to get close to you. So that's really it. That's the simple process. Scatter those breadcrumbs where your potential clients are by using the things they care about, their problems, their goals, their aspirations, their challenges, but illustrate those topics with the known feel factors that are going to bring them closer to your window where you can watch them. They're going to bring them closer to being ready to hire you. Speak to you again soon. Cheers.